What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bianconator Zone for another live show post I don't know, post disaster class, I guess. The day after, uh, yeah, the day after an absolute embarrassing. I will say that, because that's what it was yesterday. We embarrassed ourselves in front of the world, basically, if the world was watching Europa League on Thursday. But what happened yesterday, result wise, is just embarrassing because it's not, with all due respect. But before we get into it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification. Um, but yeah, we failed to beat Nantes at home in the Europa League. The team sitting second in Serie A, third, second, in terms of points gained, failed to beat the team sitting in 13th in the French league. That happened yesterday, and I don't think anyone is really shocked about it. Um, but I still think it's a little bit surprising because I thought just by default you need to beat these guys at home, but we're not even in that mode. Like, it's not even by default we can beat these teams. It was a shocking performance. Like, I don't even know where to start because I was very deflated after that game, because the way it went, basically, because we started off very good, in my opinion. We were at it. They couldn't touch that ball at all. It was a good start. You get that goal, and then I thought it starts. We being ourselves again, I guess. And we let teams who are poor out. Like, let's get that out of the way and make that clear. Nantes, with all due respect, are poor. Like, they are a really bad football team. Like, it is what it is. You need to be honest with yourself. They're 13 in the French league for a reason. They're very, very poor. Like, they're not a good team. They don't have good players. It is what it is. And they might go on and knock us out, which I think they will. But they're a poor team. I mean, it makes it even worse because we played a very, very bad side yesterday. Like, let's get that out of the way. And it makes it worse because, again, we started off well, got that early goal, and then we did what we always do. Now, I've read some things yesterday. I had discussions, and the conclusion is, I will say it again. The standards for this club have been lowered so low that the bare minimum, or every little thing that seems positive, gets blown out of proportion, and they will throw it at you and be like, oh, you're wrong, it was a good game. Up to that point, up to the 1-1, non-scored. I said they deserved to get that goal because we came out of that locker room in the second half and we had no intention of playing a game. Like, no intention at all. I don't know what happened in that locker room, but that first 50 minutes were disgusting. They were just absolutely disgusting. And even though Nantes were not getting chances, you felt something could happen out of nowhere, and that's what we did. And I had a discussion. We didn't create chances up to that point. We didn't. Like, don't fool yourself. We had possession in that first half, but we did absolutely nothing with it. Like, absolutely nothing. Most of the possession, you can look it up, was on our own half or on midfield. Like, we're just bopping it around, and that's about it. We created no clear-cut chances up to that 1-1. We didn't, And if you believe that, you're lying to yourself. Like, you are making it sound better than it is, and it makes it even worse because you're just lying to yourself. Like, it is what it is. I don't know why, but it's a lie. We created nothing. Like, we created nothing besides that goal, and up to that 1-1, we didn't create nothing. You can say Di Maria, but I don't count that as a real shot, a chance, because he didn't took a shot. That's not a chance. That, like, a chance is a goalkeeper makes a save, or you just put it out wide, and you're like, oh. And shooting out from 30 meters out, excuse me, taking shots from 30 meters, those are not chances. Like, if you want to call that chances, again, bare minimum standards on the floor. It is what it is. We were poor. We had possession. We had no idea what to do with that possession. We were just very slow. I don't know what the plan was, because I tweeted it out after we went 1-0 up. I said, what's the plan with the other 25 minutes in that first half? Like, you're the better team. You're dominating the possession. What is the idea? What is the thought process behind just keeping the ball and not really pushing? Because we're not pushing. It was just like, it's 1-0. It's good. All rosy. It wasn't, And overall, it wasn't a good game. Like, it's just not a good game. You cannot say we played a good game when you go 1-1 and then you go all over the place, And they had opportunities. They just, again, they're poor, and that's why they didn't capitalize on certain opportunities. But you cannot go all out, sit back, concede, and then go all out again with no game plan, just doing random stuff and be like, that's a good game. That's not a good game, It's actually a poor game. And I'm sorry if somebody thinks that was a good game or you created a lot. You're lying to yourself. Like, if you're lowering your standards, I will not do that ever, because it's not 13th in the league. I saw people saying, "Oh, we're so unlucky." Again, it's not 13 in the league, and we are talking about bad luck. We are talking about, but if we got that penalty, then we scraped a win. Was it a handball? Yes. Was it a foul on Bremer? No, not in my opinion, but that's up to discussion according to the ref, not the handball. But the focus was so much on that last moment that people completely forgot how the game went, and that's the worst part of that game, because even today the focus was on, it was a pen, we should have won, blah blah blah. Like, it's not 13 in the league. Somebody tweeted out a good thing. Like, we are post Nantes, post Sanitana, post Monza. We are discussing these games like we just played prime Barcelona, prime Real Madrid, and all those teams. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. We played a very bad side. We played a very poor team, That's just a reality. And I know my Wi-Fi is going kind of mad because I can see it switching off. I'm sorry for that. Let me see. No idea why it's doing, but there's a little bit of a delay. I'm sorry. Hopefully that will stabilize. Let me see. Yeah, it's not good. I'm sorry for my Wi-Fi. I have no idea what's happening, because it was good before the live, but it's all over the place now. But yeah, it wasn't a good game. It wasn't a good game, and and you, at this point, you cannot even say anything, because if you say something, it's an agenda, or you're being too harsh, or you're watching a different game. Okay, if you think that was a good game yesterday against 13th place Nantes, sitting 13th in the French league, good. You lowered your standards. Good for you, I guess. That's what you want to see, apparently. That's what you think is good. Good for you. That's not good, in my opinion. It's just poor. And it's embarrassing. And Marquinhos came out and he said the same thing. Like, you were talking about lock pens. It's embarrassing. Like, it's absolutely embarrassing that we are discussing needing a pen to be the very poor side. Jesus Christ. Like, they're poor. But whatever, I guess. Let me try to fix the Wi-Fi, because it's moving mad, but I cannot. I have no idea why it's doing. Jesus Christ. But yeah. Okay. So that was the game. I think it's over. I don't think we're gonna go next Thursday and win that game. I just don't see how we are gonna win that game. I'm not doing a preview. Julian is doing a preview for Spezia. I don't think we're gonna win at Spezia. I just don't think that. Like watching those guys play out there, watching the that performance, I don't see how we're gonna beat Spezia. I just don't, and I absolutely don't see how we're gonna beat Nantes next Thursday. Again, they're a very poor side, but we will make them look very good, and I don't see us making it out of that round. And maybe it's for the best because the lesser games we need to watch, I think the better this season because it's unwatchable. Like it's absolutely unwatchable. But yeah, that was the game. Post game, I think it got even worse. It absolutely got worse. Because Allegri lost it. He lost the plot. I think he's feeling the pressure big time. You have Danilo saying the same bullshit stuff again. You have Marquisio saying I don't know what he was talking about. Like it's all over the place, and it gets worse. The post game might have been worse than the game in itself. So it starts off with Allegri having an absolutely meltdown in front on TV. Excuse me, because he was asked about do you prefer winning 1-0? And he snapped. He said, "It's not that I want Juve to win games 1-0. That's bullshit. Look at the numbers. I've always had the best defense and the second best attack. If we miss several situations in front of a goal, that's not good." Well, that's a lie. That stat doesn't, exist. And we all know it doesn't exist. You don't even need to look it up. But I looked it up. It's not true. It happened twice, I think. Twice. And then a few times I was not even near that stat. So that's a complete lie. And we know that because we watched the game. We watched the seasons. Like, that's a lie, Whatever. I do agree we messed up some opportunities. But it's not the first time. It's all season. It's all season. So I'm not going to say, that was a one-off bad luck, or man, what just happened? We know what happened. It's happening for 2 years now, so it's pointless. People talk about bad luck. 3 years? Are we having bad luck for 3 years? Like, come on. I don't think anyone believes that. Like, let's be honest. Let's be honest with yourselves. Excuse me. Nobody's believing that we are having bad luck for 3 seasons in a row. Like that's just. That's just not happening. It's about coaching. It's about decision making. It's about approaches. All those things. That's why we are having these results. It's not about bad luck. If you want to talk about bad luck, I will take bad luck. If you play a final and you miss a shitload of chances, but you have a good season. If you have 3 poor seasons, it's not bad luck anymore. It's just not bad luck. I'm sorry. Like, it's absolutely deluded to think about bad luck, to talk about bad luck. It's look at the bigger picture. It's not about yesterday's game. Yesterday's game just added to I don't know how many other games that are similar to that of yesterday. I think a lot of people are focused on one game. They're focusing on that one game yesterday and forget about all the rest. We were poor yesterday. That's not a good game. That's not. We were all over the shop in the second half against a very bad side. We didn't create much. Chiesa had a good chance. Unlucky, I guess that. We had a corner hitting the crossbar. No idea what the goalkeeper was doing. And maybe the pen that, that should have been given. Other than that, we didn't create chances. Like, we just didn't. So I don't know what people... I don't know what people are coming at me and have been trying to spark a discussion. We didn't create chances. We had possession, but that doesn't mean you are having a good game. Especially not for us, because we do absolutely nothing with that possession. So it's absolutely ridiculous to say that, but whatever, I guess. He said after the 1-0 we stopped. We played too much in slow motion. We absolutely have to improve on that. At 1-1, then we go out again and had the chance to go 2 up on several occasions. You have to have the ball. You have to move the ball, move it quickly, and move as a player. Instead, we kept the ball stationary too often. It was rolling, but it didn't travel. Then, when we started to make it travel, we created other chances. I don't know what other chances. This is copy-paste for so many times. if you need to say it, if you need to repeat the same things over and over again, you're not good at your job. You're just not doing your job properly. It's that simple as that. If you go to work, I don't know, and I don't know what you need to do. You need to make a list of, I don't know, items, and every single week you need to make the same list, and every single week you forget to list half of the items. You cannot go to your boss the fifth time and be like, I need to do better. I need to stop forgetting it. You did it 5 times. It's the same thing over and over again. You're gone. Like, it's done. But over here at Juve, you get 150 chances, I guess, and you have a part of the fan base co-signing it. Because they lowered the standards and they created their own narrative that this is good. This is good compared to other games. But you shouldn't be comparing it to other games because there's no improvement. We go up, down, so there's no comparison. You cannot compare one game to the previous game because we will go up, down, So I'm not sure what you're comparing. You're comparing certain points on a roller coaster. You need to compare where this club should be and where we are at now. It's as simple as that. That's the only comparison you can make at this point. You cannot look back at last week, because if you look back at the week before that, it's probably shit again. So you're just comparing random stuff. It's pointless. It's absolutely pointless. But yeah. Excuse me. Now, let's move on to a topic that I actually don't really want to discuss, but it's out there, it's there. Before I get into it, I don't hate any players. I don't hate Danilo. I don't hate Danilo. I don't hate a player. I don't know them. I'm not sure why I should hate a player. But I do rate or not rate a player. That's something different, or I do like or dislike a player purely based on abilities and other things as well. And Danilo, do I rate him highly as a player? No, because I don't think he's that great. He's not a great player. He's just okay. That's it, And if you want to say, but compared to the others in the team, do you really want to make that comparison? Do you really want to do that? Because if we are going to do that, we're going to be in this situation for a very, very long time. That's not the comparison we should be making. But every single time, if he has an interview, post-game, it makes me sad. It makes me even more sad. It is what it is, because it's the same bullshit every single time. It's like a broken record. It's what a Juve captain will always talk about, Nobody wants to hear it, but they think the fans want to hear it. Absolutely not true. It even pisses off fans even more. So it's absolutely ridiculous. It gets pushed out there by the club. It gets pushed out there big time by the club. And it's ridiculous. Everything he says, I'm like, dude, you said that 2 years ago. We must improve in our decision and intensity. Understand when the others are struggling, then the games become easier. Improve this, improve that, learn this, learn that. If you go out there and look up any random post game from Danilo from 2 years ago, you will find the exact same words. It's the same thing. It's like a script they get and they just read it out post game. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, there's no accountability, because he says, I don't want to make excuses, but that was a pen. Wrong. You already made an excuse. You don't want to make an excuse, but then you go say, but it's a pen. Who knows where the game went? It could have gone. That's an excuse. Nobody wants to hear that. It's freaking on. You're not playing City. You're not playing Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, PSG. You're playing Nantes. 13th place in the French league, Nantes. That's who you're playing. And the first thing out of your mouth, we need to improve. We need to learn this. We need to do that. It's absolutely ridiculous. It is, and some people eat it up. I won't, because I have different standards for this club. I have nothing against Danilo personally, but I do have a problem with what the club is making Danilo look like, or they're trying to make Danilo look like, or make him somebody he's not. Is he a good guy in the locker room? Probably. But in my opinion, a leader needs to be a captain, excuse me. It also needs to be the best player on that pitch, week in, week out. It needs to be a difference maker, in my opinion. He's not. He's just a good player. Nothing else to say. Like, I'm not gonna go over the top. Like, oh, we won the Cancelo swap. Another thing that's complete bullshit. That's to justify everything the club does. We did not win the Danilo Cancelo swap. Like, if you think that, then yes, I understand that probably you're okay with what's happening at the club, the way we play. If you think we won that swap, okay, fair. But we didn't win that swap, It's ridiculous. Like, the contracts, extensions, all those things, what's happening at the club, that's why I'm saying it's not bad luck. It's dating back from years and years. It's wrong decision, wrong decision, wrong decision. It's not bad luck. That's that. But when he comes out with these stuff, like, I don't even need to watch those. It was on, and I could predict every single thing he was going to say, even before he said it. It's the same thing. Every single week, the same thing. We need to learn. 3 years. Again, 13th place Nantes. We need to learn to beat that team. Okay. I guess okay. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I will go in the comments in a little bit. But I want to read out this one from Marquisio, because, again, it goes a step above now. It goes a step further. He said, few times have I seen such an important foreign player like Danilo for Juve. Okay. Okay, I guess okay. I mean, he's my favorite player, like top 5 Marquisio ever. But when I saw that, I'm like, oh boy. Like, really, oh boy. Like, I fear for this club. I'm not gonna lie. Because, like, I don't care if a person speaks well in front of, if you want to call that well, I just call it manager talk. Like, it's ridiculous. But I'm not gonna do it, because I will make this show 3 hours. So I'm not gonna go on a rant. But few times, no, I've seen it many times that a foreign player has been good. Has been very important for this club, and not because of words, but just because of the play on that pitch, helping the team, making a difference. I don't care. Zidane didn't like to talk to the media post game. I don't care. Mandzukic didn't give 2 toss. Like, you can count Mandzukic post game interviews on one hand, and you're probably not even gonna get to 5. He doesn't do, like, he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't like it, but that's an important player because he made a difference. And he didn't speak to the media. He was a leader in that team, 100% sure. There's proof that he was a leader. You can go back, it's well documented that he was an absolute leader. He didn't talk post game. He was quiet. You can see off his facial expression if we had a good game or he had a good game or not. That's all you needed to know. We didn't need an Instagram post about sorry. We didn't need an interview saying we need to learn, we need to improve. Copy paste that interview to next week when we, and again, mess up a game. He didn't need to do that. That's one player, for example. So when these things come out, I just feel for the club. I don't know what direction we're going into, because if this is the direction we are going into, then we are in for a very long banter era, in my opinion. If that's the way the club is gonna go. But what did I know? I'm apparently just a hater. So, yeah. I will read out the chat now. Excuse me. At the end of the day, right now, Allegri and the players who aren't at this club level are holding us back. Yeah, a lot of players. Somebody asked if I'm confident to make it out of the group or out of this round. Nope. I don't think we're gonna make it next week. I think we're gonna lose next week. That's what I truly believe. It's not reactionary, but what I saw yesterday. No, we're not gonna make it out of that playoff, whatever you want to call this bullshit again. If you have any questions or things, put them in the chat now because I'm not gonna scroll all up because it's very difficult. It's a mix between players. Yeah, man. We talked about Allegri so many times on this channel and about players. So yeah, it's a mix. Like I'm not saying it's just the players or it's just Allegri. It's a mix of both. It is, But I think we knew that. No, I never said it's only Allegri because we talked about Allegri. We talked about players not being good enough. Like it's a mix. It's absolutely a mix. It's only me that thinks Bremer has been a flop by Juve. It's not a Juve standard, in my opinion. I'm not gonna say he's a flop, but he's not having a good season. I said it. I think I said it this week in one of my videos. I don't think he's having a good season. I think he's having good games, average games, and disaster games completely. Again, I can say that for all the players in the squad. They have fantastic good games, and absolutely disaster games. I can name all of them. They had won almost all of them. And it's about the team is going all over the place, being a roller coaster, and it sucks in every player's. Like it does. It does, because I do think Bremer is a good player, but in his first season, it's a mess. He played in a back three at Torino. He comes at the club, starts in a 4, then he goes to a back 3, and he plays with a left back and a right back in a back 3. It's ridiculous. Like, look at our back 3 yesterday. Bremer, a center back, is playing in a back 3 with Alexandro and Danilo. Like, I don't even know how do I need to explain that? That's what's happening in the club. You pay almost 50 mil for a center back. You partner him with a right back and a left back to play, to form a back line. If that isn't ridiculous, if that doesn't sound ridiculous, then I don't know. Then it's just me, I guess. That's the situation at the club. You have a left back who's not good enough, and you have Danilo who's not good enough to play his own position, so we shifted to center back. That's what we are doing. But I agree, I don't think Bremer is having a great season. He's having very good moments and very disaster moments. But I do believe he's a good player. And I do believe if things change, he will shine and he will do his thing. I'm actually certain of that. But I agree, I don't think he's having a fantastic season. I agree with that. Yeah, Tevez to name one. Like, those are important foreign players. Like, they have impact. They lead by example, based on talent, based on what they do on that pitch. They probably didn't need a lot of words, but when they went on that pitch, they made a difference, and everybody believed in them. Everybody soaked up their energy. It is what it is. I don't think I'm just looking at from my perspective. I will follow a player like Tevez, Mandzukic, based on what they do on the pitch, rather than follow a player like Danilo because he speaks well in the interview. I probably don't even read all the interviews. I will follow, me personally, a player who I see on that pitch and he plays his tails off and he makes a difference. I will follow that player. It's as simple as that. Does he speak well in the locker room? I don't care. Does he give good interviews? I don't give a shit. He makes a difference the moment he steps on that pitch. I will follow him. It's as simple as that. But we are creating a new type of, whatever you want to call it, mid. And it's based on words. It's not based on talent or impact. It's absolutely ridiculous. Our age and lack of speed were exposed yesterday, as well as the Lakers' offensive strategy, or just putting out offensive players and saying go play. Yeah, that last 15 minutes were just go out there and vibe. Yana saying, imagine Alexander will be extended because he keeps being played. Worst thing seen. Yeah, he's not gonna get extended. If he does, I might even skip watching games next season because what's the point? Um, the club is just badly managed, and I don't think that the new managers are going to manage anything. I hope I'm wrong. We'll see this summer. No, Alcom put those guys in there to fix the financial situation and go to court. Like the club is in absolutely shambles. Like it is what it is. It's Allegri, the players, and that's it. That's the situation at the club. It's ridiculous. It's going to be a very long summer and not a fun summer. Like that's just what it is. You know, it's reality. It's absolutely reality. And going off yesterday's words, they want to keep Allegri. I still believe he will walk at the end of the season because this is ridiculous, even for him. You know, he's losing his patience. He's usually very calm. The situation is getting out of hand off the field. All those things, potentially what we can do in the summer. I don't think he wants to be part of this in his final year or whatever. I don't think he's gonna do that. So yeah. But I agree. The club is badly run. I think even worse than some might think because there's nobody at the club. There's no structure. We have a board filled with lawyers and nobody who has a clue what the game is about. Nobody worked in the world of football. You can have one or two in a club, but when you have an entire board, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, let that sink in. We are a top club. Serie A, we need to compete next season or like should improve in the summer, all those things. And the entire board is made up of just random lawyers who have no idea what to do in the world of football. Absolutely ridiculous. But that's the situation. Thank you, Agnelli. But you cannot even say that because then you're disrespectful. Then let's have a beer tonight together in Belgium during games next season, Ale, because I think, yeah. I don't, no. First of all, I don't drink, so I will come, but I will join, but I will drink just a Cola Zero. I don't drink. But I don't believe Alexandro will get a new deal. If Alexandro gets a new deal, I'm not doing any videos anymore. Like, I'm done. Like, I don't have the energy. Like, it's already hard to do it now. It is. But if you sign Alexander to an extension, even if you pay him €10 a season, I don't know what the club is doing. So I don't believe we're going to do Alexandro. Give Alexandro a renewal. But because that's absolutely ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Who do we replace him with, though? I want to do daughter, but that ain't happening. I really hope it's not Conte. I saw that story today. If it's Conte, just keep Allegri. Because the story was we want to go young players coming out from the youth sector, develop them and all those things. And then Conte be the coach. Like, absolutely ridiculous, that story. Because it makes absolutely no sense. And just keep Allegri and whatever. You know, if that's what you're going to do. Already being linked with Conte, you know, angers me because we are doing the recycle stuff over and over again. We have no, I don't know. It's like we have a list, you know, and we and that's it. We go from top to bottom and we restart that list. That's what it feels like. We don't think out of the box. I don't know what this club is all about with Italian and ex-players and all those things. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's outdated. It's not working. I don't know. Do you think Cambiasso is better than Alexandro right now? Maybe, but he's not good as well. Like, I'm sorry. Like, as I said it when we signed him, I was like, I'm not sure. I haven't seen enough, but he's young. What I've seen from him this season, I'm not impressed. You know, it doesn't scream he's going to improve us next season, you know. But he probably has more legs, better legs than Alexandro moving forward and all those things. But when I watch Cambiasso play, and I've watched him a few times this season, it's not wow. It's not like, okay, that's something. It's just, meh. It's just, you shouldn't play for this club. Maybe with this standards and this level, okay. But for what we want to be, no. Like, it feels like another Pellegrini, in my opinion. But yeah, Conte is better than Allegri, but for the love of God, we need to move away from Stone Age tactics at some point. Yeah, but this is Juve. We love that. I don't want Conte, but I take him over Allegri any day. I take anyone over Allegri. No, I will keep Allegri if Conte is the solution because it's just sideways. We're moving sideways. We're not moving forward as a club. We're thinking short term. Just for the love of God, don't do it. And yes, it's gonna be a long ride, painful ride, but don't make short. How do you want to say that? Like, don't make short term fixes. Don't go for short term solutions because the end product will leave you in shambles one more time. Like it's I don't. I'm fuming. I'll take Palladino at this point. You know, it's still long till the end of the season, but I don't know. You know, I don't think we're gonna beat Nantes. I think we're out. From what I've seen yesterday, I just don't see how we're gonna make it. Going off the game, going off how we play in Europe, you saw the record the last couple of years. It's ridiculous. So I don't think we're gonna beat Nantes. I think it's done. You know, I think we will lose at Nantes, and then that's it. The season. You know, yeah, Copa semi-final, but even if we win that, I don't really care. Like I'm not gonna. Yeah, I will be happy, but the day after, I'm done. Like the Coppa Italia with the season we have, with all the shambolic performances, that's not gonna cut it. Like it's just gonna feel still empty, still painful. So let's see. Okay, if you don't like it, turn it off, unsubscribe, whatever. Don't waste your time putting the comments in there. Go out there, be optimistic about the season, about last season, about the previous season. Act like everything is normal, you know. Enjoy what's happening, you know. If you can enjoy this, good for you, you know. You're a better person than me and probably a lot of people in the chat. If you're optimistic about this, good, you know. But don't come in the comments because it's pointless and, you know, whatever. Realistically, I don't see Allegri leaving, especially with the replacements being mentioned in the press. I agree with you. I'd rather keep Max than welcome Conte back. But you believe we can beat Nantes. Okay, that's fair. I don't see it, you know. But I still think it's a possibility that he walks. I do believe it because he's losing his temper. He's snapping at fans. He's snapping at journalists. Usually doesn't do. He's not. Usually it's not like this. And the way we are moving at a club, probably maybe not. You know, Europe, no money, all those things. Does he really want to go through that? All of that? I don't. I think there's an opportunity he walks, or just agrees with the club. You know, it's done. This is the end of it. No, I'm not taking Pippo Inzaghi. I don't know he's doing well at Regina, but no. I agree. Only be short-term decision with players and plans for the club. Yeah, like that's who we are as a club at this moment in time. That's it. You know. Sotil, Italiano, and De Zerbi, but De Zerbi, I think he messed up by calling out all the super teams when the Super League came out, saying, "I don't want to be part of that. Money, money, money." And now he's aiming for the big clubs. I think he burned a few bridges in Italy, and knowing some of the clubs, owners, and all those things, I don't think he. I just don't see it happening anytime soon. You know, just solely based on what he said in the Super League time. Call out those clubs. He didn't like the money. He didn't like the big teams, and now he's going for the big teams. Very strange, but he said that. So I don't think he has a shot at this moment in time. I agree. In 2018, Allegri was also, but not like this. Like he's snapping, like he's snapping at fans now. Like literally, it's a step worse than 2018 in my opinion. Beating none changes nothing. However, even if you go into France and smash them. Okay, I will ask this question before I wrap it up because Julian opened this live. We beat Nantes. We go through. How many people who are in the chat now think we are better than Man U, Barcelona, Arsenal, how many people think we can actually win this Europa League when all those teams out there are in there? How? What are our chances? Because I will say it, they're zero. They're absolutely like we struggle against Nantes. Have you watched Barca and Man U play? Have you watched Arsenal play? Yes, they have a little dip, whatever. They're a great team. We're horrible. Like we are unwatchable. We struggle in that second half against Nantes at times. And again, if it wasn't for Nantes being an absolutely bad team, like a very poor team, if it was against a slightly better opposition in that second half, they had so many opportunities to go through on goal, but just purely based on the lack of ability and talent, they messed up a few things. You get absolutely dunked on. You know, if you watch that intensity and pace in that Barcelona Man U game, you will be shocked. And that's not even the top of the top. That pace and that intensity, I think players just looking at it, they will fall down in our team because it was mind-boggling. I watched that game and then the next game was us, and the pace and intensity was just night and day. Like we will never be able to match that. And you saw that against Napoli. We couldn't match that, and we got absolutely smoked. Benfica, same thing. We couldn't match that, absolutely smoked. That's the reality. That's happened a few weeks ago, not years, weeks. And you have people saying I'm pessimistic. It's not pessimistic. It's reality. Like what we are living now, it's reality. It's facts. I'm not making these things up. It's out there. You can rewatch the game if you want. It's out there. You can rewatch the Napoli game, Benfica game, PSG game, Maccabi game, Monza twice, Salernitana. You can rewatch all those games if you think I'm pessimistic, or you didn't watch those games and you're just coming in here and trying to wind me up. Because if you watch all those games, there's no way you can be optimistic in any way, shape, or form. At that point, I 100% think you just hate the club and you will eat up everything they say. Someone said, who's the coach I like? I don't want to talk about coaches. I will talk about that at the end of the season when things become clear. If Allegri is going to walk and all those things. If he's going to stay, it's pointless for me to come on here and be like, I want Zidane and talk about Zidane for 1 hour, or I want De Zerbi, because he's not going to leave. So it's pointless. But I just said I don't want Conte back. I don't want somebody back we already had. It's done. Move on. We're not better, not at the moment. On paper, we can beat any of those teams. Yeah, but the paper, you need to show it. It's one thing not firing a manager mid-season, but if they dare to keep Allegri for one more season, they will. If Allegri says I want to keep going, they will keep him 100% sure, no doubt, because everybody at the club is gone. Nobody has a clue what to do at the club, so they will just keep Allegri, because again, people at the top now have absolutely no clue about this sport. They came from a different world. It's ridiculous, but it's a reality. And again, the people you need to thank, or the person you need to thank, is Andrea Agnelli. He oversaw this. He gave Pratici and all those guys whatever they wanted. They can do whatever they want. They all got sacked for a reason. That's why we have a board filled with just lawyers, bankers, and all those things. And it's just not good. It's as simple as that. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up. It's a Friday evening. Thanks everybody for watching or joining on a Friday evening. There will be a live. No, there will be no live tomorrow. There will be a preview. Julian is going to pre-record that tonight. So there will be a preview out tomorrow. And there will also be a match reaction or a live reaction post-game Spezia on Sunday. And then, we will go again, I guess, on Monday. Building up to Europa League game. A Nantes game away from home, which I'm not looking forward to, but it is what it is, I guess. Again, people, thanks for watching, everyone. Please like the video if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel. and we will see you again live on Sunday.